Hello, today we're doing 3.2b, which is continuing to solve two-step equations. We will do a couple different type of two-step equations today, so make sure you're following along. First, we're going to quick review the steps we take to solve a multi-step or two-step equation. First, we're going to get rid of adding and subtracting, then multiplication and division. So we're really doing our order of operations in reverse. Another way you can think of this is solving or unwrapping a present. We have to figure out what's inside. We can't do what's closest to it. We got to unwrap the bows and the wrapping paper on the outside first, or whatever's furthest away first. Further first, and we do the letter last. That's what those L's stand for. So this first question is actually a one-step equation if we treat it like a fraction. So to get rid of a fraction, we multiply by the reciprocal. You can do this in two steps if you want to multiply by 4 and then divide by 3. Or we can do it all at once and multiply by the reciprocal, meaning flipping our fraction. So we're multiplying by 4 over 3. 3 over 3 eliminates and 4 over 4 eliminates, leaving us with just w. They don't really eliminate. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so we have 1w. But we normally don't write the 1 there. And then this is also really a fraction, 3 over 1. So if I multiply straight across, 3 times 4 is 12. And in the denominator, 1 times 3 is 3. So we have w equal to 12 divided by 3, which is 4. If you're not sure, you can always plug it back in to check, see if you got the answer correct. Let's look at the second one. I'm going to draw my line down first. Getting rid of adding and subtracting, so we're not going to get rid of the 2 that's closest to our present that we're trying to figure out. We need to get rid of the outside adding and subtracting first, so I'm going to subtract 5. 5 minus 5 is 0, so those are gone. We have 2x. And 19 take away 5, well 9 minus 5 is 4, so it's really 14. And then the opposite of multiplying by 2, those are touching, remember that means multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so we have 1x, or just x. 14 divided by 2, or half of 2, is 7. Alright, on to the third one here. We have 10 minus g equal to 14. So this is really a negative 1g. The reason why I put that there is because the negative goes with the g. We're going to have to get rid of that eventually. If you didn't right away, we can still solve it. This is a positive 10. We would have to subtract 10 on both sides. Remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other, like lifting weights. You're not just going to lift weights with one arm. 10 minus 10 is 0. So we have negative g equal to 14 take away 10, which is 4. But we don't want negative g, we just want g. So it's really a negative 1g. And it's touching, it's multiplied, so we need to divide both sides by negative 1. 2 negatives make a positive, so we just have g equal to, here they don't get along, a negative 4 divided by 1, which is 4. Alright. Slide 2, we are still doing two-step equations. However, we can't get rid of just a number all by itself because there isn't a number all by itself other than the 72. We have two terms that have the same letter, so if we ever have two of the same letter, we need to combine our like terms first. Combine, like, this is making it difficult to write terms. So we have 7a plus 11a, they're both positive, so we can just add them up. That gives us 18a equal to negative 72. And then all we have left is to get rid of our 18. We know that's touching, it's multiplied, so we can divide. So we have a equal to, and then if I were you, I would use your multiplication table on this one. So you're going to find 18 and follow it down to 72, and you should get 4. This is a negative. They're happy and grumpy. They don't get along. 72 divided by 18, if you were to plug it in your calculator, would give you the same answer. you can use a calculator now. All right, next, this is just a regular two-step equation. Getting rid of adding and subtracting first, I'm going to subtract 8. This is not subtracting 3, it's really multiplied because it's touching the j there. So 8 minus 8 eliminates, so we have negative 3j on the right. 29 minus 8 is 21. And then, like we said, this is touching, so it's multiplied. We need to divide by that whole number. Divide by negative 3. 3 over 3 is just 1, so we have 1j, or just j. And then 21 divided by 3, I know it's going to be a negative because they don't get along. 21 divided by 3 should give us 7. If you want to rewrite it so you have j equals negative 7, so the letters on the left, you can. These are both correct. All right, third one. Again, with a fraction, draw your line down. Getting rid of adding and subtracting first, so I'm going to add 16. Eliminate 16 minus 16, we have 2/3 f equal to 16 and 4 more, they're all positives, that gives us 20. I'm going to make that a little smaller so I can fit more on this side. And now, getting rid of our fraction, multiply by the reciprocal. This is the part people forget. We multiply by 3 over 2 times 3 over 2. 3 over 3 eliminates, 2 over 2 eliminates, because it's really 2 over 2 is 1, and 3 over 3 is 1. We could flip these around, it doesn't matter which one you multiply first. And then this is really 20 over 1 if we make them both fractions, so we can multiply easier. 20 times 3, well, 2 times 3 is 6, and it's multiplied by 10, so 20 times 3 is 60. 1 times 2 is 2. So really, 60 divided by 2, well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, so it's 30. Half of 60 minutes would be 30 minutes, right? So there's F. Go ahead and flip over to the back side. I would like you to try this one on your own, and then click play to see if you got it right. We have two letters that are the same variables, 5f and a negative 2f. 5 minus 2, there's more positives. 5 minus 2 is 3f. So we have 15 equal to 3f, and then we just need to get rid of this multiplication. We need to divide. Divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is just 1, so we have f equal to 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So f is 5. All right, let's go on to the middle question. We've done a lot with the fraction 2/3. I don't know why that is. First, getting rid of just adding and subtracting. The negative 2/3 c is multiplied by c, so we can't get rid of that yet. We need to get rid of this minus 1. The opposite of subtracting 1 is adding 1. So 5 plus 1 is 6. We have 2/3 c, but it's negative. I like to put the negative with one of the two numbers. Pick one. I always pick the top number, but it's up to you. Just to know that it is a negative 2/3. Don't make them both negative, because then the two negatives really make a positive, and we don't want that. So to get rid of a fraction, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. So we're going to multiply by 3 over negative 2 times 3 over negative 2. Negative times a negative here makes a positive. So 2 over 2 is just 1. 3 over 3 is just 1. So let's make these both fractions. 6 times 3 is 18. 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So 18 divided by 2, or half of 18. It's going to be 9, and they don't get along. It's a negative. If I am going too quick, please make sure to pause the video and catch up. Last one on this page. we have negative e plus 9e. This is really a negative 1e. So we have a negative 1 and a positive 9. There are more positives. 9 minus 1 would just give us 8e. And then 24. These are touching, that means multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. Divide by 8 on both sides. 8 over 8 is just 1. And 24 divided by 8 should be 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So E is 3. Those are all the questions that we're going to do just straight up. This one is our last question. It's a word problem. Afterwards, I do have a short video that I'll have you watch. It's like 30 seconds about Michael Jordan and how his failures contributed to his success and how he got on this Wheaties box. So there's a link in Schoology to that. So it says, did you eat your Wheaties today? At the grocery store, you bought 4 boxes of cereal and a carton of strawberries. The carton of strawberries costs $2.89. The bill came to a total of $12.25. How much was 1 box of cereal? So it doesn't say this, but we need to write out an equation first and then solve it to figure out how much 1 box of cereal was. Because we know the total. We know the total was $12.25. And we know we bought 4 boxes of cereal. And we bought some strawberries to equal that total. We know that, what do we know? Let's take a look here. 4 boxes and a carton of strawberries. Means 1. If it said 3, then they would have said 3. So we don't know how many or how much the cereal costs, so I'm just going to use the letter C to represent the cereal. About 4 cartons or 4 cereals, so 4 multiplied by the cost of the cereal would tell me how much it costs for all the cereal, plus the strawberries, which cost $2.89, all equals $12.25. So we can subtract the price of the strawberries off, because that's just adding and subtracting, minus $2.89, oops, not 8. Those eliminate, and we get 4C. And we're going to do a little subtraction here. I'm going to borrow from the 2, make that a 1. 15 minus 9 should give me 6. Can't do that, so we're going to make this, oopsies, 11 minus 8 is 3, and 11 minus 2 is 9. So 936. I feel like that's not right. Let me double check here. If you want to continue on, please feel free to do so. 1225 minus 289, 936. We're good. And then the last step, the opposite of multiplying by 4, is dividing by 4. This is one where I would probably use my calculator for, unless you want to do it longhand like this, and divide by 4. When we plug that into our calculator, it should be $2.34. So C stood for the price of 1 box of cereal. So how much was 1 box of cereal? $2.34. Once you watch your video, you